Okay, in order to create a Google Classroom, what you need to do is you need to open up Google Chrome. So you have to be on Chrome, not Safari. And in the taskbar, you're going to put in classroom.google.com. It has to be classroom.google.com. If you put in google.classroom.com, you will not get it. Now I have a million, but if you've never created one, what you need to do is you need to verify that you're a teacher. So it will take you a little bit of time. So you need to make sure you do that with Google. So do that now and then give it 24, 48 hours. To create a new class when you log in, because it's going to say you're a teacher and not a student. However, you can be in some classes as a student. So for example, I am a student in this one, the liaisons classroom. So what you would do after you have your classroom set up is you're going to click the plus button. You're going to create a class, and I could call this class Lynn Scott Teachers. And or I could just call it Lynn Scott. Okay, I could do all of this, but you don't have to. And now you're going to click create. And what it's done is, well, it's thinking my stuff is uploading, so my bandwidth is being used. Okay, so now I have my class. I can change the theme if I want. You can play with it. It's not a big deal. But really what you want to do is you want to have your students in this class because they're not going to be there to put in the code. So if you're at school, you can just project this and have the students type in this code, case sensitive. But if you are there, if you're not there, then you can add students or you can add teachers. And so I would add students by putting in their name. So I could put in, if I put in Josh Herrera, typically speaking, he will come up. Sometimes you'll get a student who has, let me see, I think it's Aguilera. So there's two. So Aguilar and Aguilera. So you have to double check what the student ID number is, which you can check on the student roster. So if I picked that and I typed their name, so let's say I put in Trey Silva, and I did that, and I clicked invite, and you could put your whole class. It doesn't take long. It will automatically ask him when he logs into Google Classroom if he wants to join the class. And then he just has to click a quick button. So I'm going to add all of you, and that's way you can see. So if I put in Heidi Claypool, if I put in Michelle McDougall, if I put in Seth Lewis, if I put in Linda Bennett, right? If I put in Sonia, if I put in, they're creating videos on. I put in Karen. Okay, you get the idea. So if I send it to you, a box would show up right away. You just say join, and they're in your class. Okay, that's how you create a class. I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to post another video of how to. Actually, maybe I'll just show you here because if you have to create a class, you don't know. So what you're going to do is, if you were to go home, you have many things here. The first thing I would do is I would go to settings. And I would come down here where it says students can post and comment. No, you cannot. In this situation, you may want to change it. However, in my 2nd through 8th grade, students do not post responsibly. And so I've stopped it. Okay. So we're saving this. Okay. To post an announcement, I can say school is out next week. And this is just a message. I can say this just for this class. I can say I can create a subgroup and say, oh, I just want this for these 3 students. It depends. Okay, you can create those subgroups. You can play around and see. And if you want to add a link, you can add a link from your Drive. You can add a link from YouTube, from your desktop. All you have to do is click. It'll take you to your Drive. You can have your most recent or go to your Drive. And you can post anything that you want. Add. Okay. Now, if you notice over here, it does not say students can see, students can edit, because that is an announcement. So if you post it, you can't adjust it. So this is not an assignment. In order to create an assignment, you have to go to classwork. You click create. You can also look at your Google Calendar and your class Drive because a folder will be up in your class. So you can say, hey, I want to create a question, a material, reuse a post. So that means, hey, I had an assignment from last year and I want to redo it and I want to put it up there again. And I don't want to change anything, and you could do that. But if you want to create a regular assignment, you go here. and you can title it essay, whatever you want it to be. Who do you want it for? You can, again, have your groups. How many points is this out of? Is it ungraded? Is it out of 3 points? I do everything out of 3 points. You decide. You can post a due date, but you do not have to. You can say, hey, is this an assignment? Is this homework? Because this is a new class, I can create a topic and I say, hey, this is homework. All right. So it's going to go into that subgroup. I'll show you one of my classes and so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't want to post an assignment because it'll confuse my students. You can add a rubric. Now, to be perfectly honest, this is brand new. It's about a week old. Maybe it's a couple more than a week's old. And so I haven't used this yet. And so I'll post when I'm going to have to figure out how to use it this week. And so I will post another video when I know how to use it. An originality report is, did they plagiarize? You can only have 3 assignments with originality reports at the same time. Okay, so you can add instructions or you cannot. Sorry, that's my mother. Okay, I'm going to add, I don't know why that's allowed to come on. I can add my assignment, so bend one paper. So this is literally just a blank piece of paper because they have the physical assignment. And so what happens is students can just look at it. Students can all edit one piece of paper. So imagine having a poster and all of the kids coming up and writing on it. That would be this one. Or make a copy for each student, which is basically like going to the copy machine, giving each kid a copy, and then it shows back up. So that's what you would do. You can add as many as you want. You can add links. You can add YouTube videos. You can add another piece of paper, like you can add a slide, right? So this could be my lesson. I only want them to view it. I want them to work on this, and I want them to have a link from, I don't know, from here, and I could post it. So I'm posting, so I add the link, right, so that they have to look at it. So I can add their resources, whatever I'm doing, and then I would click assign. The big thing that's a big deal is over here, make a copy for each student. You can assign this and then watch. If I go back to edit the assignment, so I want to edit this. I can't make this so that all students can get a copy. So you have to be really, really careful when you do that. Okay, so now I'm going to take you to one of my classes. Okay, let me get out of here. Let me go to all my classes. Let me go to 8th grade writing. So here's their classwork. Violent games essay, they had to write a paper. So this is theirs. Oh, one kid turned it in. This is where they typed it. They also had a paper due, right? So this is how many are turned in, assigned, and graded. So if I've got that turned in, now I have everybody's papers right here. So I can look. I created a rubric. Why? Why is it recording the tab in the back? So I have a rubric. I would grade on the top. That's what I would use to grade them. A lot of the other ones, I asked them, you can delete it if it messes you up, if you're finished with it. And then they would get their grade. You would return it to them, and then they would see their score. So that's how you would do an assignment.